Hello everybody, it's Tuesday, May 19th. It's Miss Shay again. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a good week. Before we get started with our lesson, I have a question for you guys. Did you notice anything different about yesterday? What was different? The weather. It was raining. I tried taking my dog to the beach to get her some exercise because we haven't been in a while. And it was misting on me at first, and then it really started to rain. So it's kind of a nice change of pace. Once I got home, I snuggled up, and hopefully you did too, and maybe read a good book. It's always a good day. A rainy day is a nice day to get your blanket, find a nice book, and find your favorite spot to read and read. So hopefully you did. We're going to get started today with our lesson. Today we're going to focus on long vowels. So there's a couple different ways that we know that it's a long vowel. So I'm going to go over that. We'll do a couple activities, and then I have a game for you, okay? So let's get started. Actually, if you've noticed, this has been hanging in the back of my wall over here during my lesson. So this, I took it down from the wall. We're actually going to go over it. So we have some long vowel teams. So there's a couple ways to make a long vowel. The first one is when we add an E to the end. So we're going to focus on A first. If I'm making the long A sound, it sounds like A. And I add an E to the end, okay, of my word to make the A say its name. So that's the case for all the long vowels, as you'll see. The other ones, we call them teams. And if you've ever heard the saying, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. And that's an old school saying. I learned that when I was a kid. Your parents probably know that one, so it's a great one to remember. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So if we look here, we have two vowels, right? A and I. Well, the first one is the A, so that's the one that's going to do the talking. So AI is going to say A, like in rain, okay? Now remember, sometimes Y can be a vowel. So in this case, again, we have our two vowels. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. If we see A-Y, it also says A. The A does the talking, all right? Let's look at our next ones. We have E. I'll start here. So E says E. All the long vowels say their name. Okay, again, we have that bossy E or that silent E at the end. Okay. Then we have two vowels. So here we have EA. So this time the E's in front. So since the E's in front, it's going to say E. That's right. It's going to do the talking. Then over here we have, such as in the leaf. Okay. And then here we have EE. Well, two vowels go walking. It's the same vowel, but the first one does the talking. So it says E. Okay. And then we have our Y. These two, as you're going to see when they're at the end of words, we kind of talked about that last time. If it's a long vowel, if it's two syllables or one syllable, okay? Then down here for I, long I says I. So again, we have that silent or bossy E. If it's at the end, it tells the I to say its name. Here we have two vowels again, I, E. So whenever we see I, E, two vowels go walking. The first one does the talking. I, as in pie. Okay. This one's a different vowel team. It doesn't have two vowels. It has IGH. So this one you just kind of have to remember. Every rule we have in English, there's always an exception. So this is kind of like that exception. So whenever you see IGH, it also says I. Okay. Now we'll move on to O. So here, our first one, we have that silent E, bossy E, tells the O to say O, as in bone. Here's our rule again. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So O-A will say O, as in coat, coat, okay? Over here, another long O, because when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. O-E says O, as in toe, okay? And then our U. Now our U is a tricky long vowel. It makes the U sound like all the other ones. It says its name, but also kind of makes like a ooh sound as well. So let's look at them. So we have our U blank E, okay, our bossy E. Over here we have our two vowels. Okay, the U says its name. This is the one where it kind of says ooh, as in ooh, glue. Okay, so not quite U, kind of more stretch it, you stretch it out a little bit more. Then over here, another vowel team, we have two vowels that are walking. The first one does the talking. Ooh, as in fruit. Okay, so this is our long vowel teams. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of them. But if you remember the saying, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, you'll remember most of them. You'll be able to sound most of them out. So the other thing I like to do, I know a lot of people do flashcards for sight words. I also like to do flashcards, but I like to do the sounds. Okay, so not a whole word, we're just looking at the sound. So I'm gonna put a vowel team up and you're just gonna say the sound, okay? So it's not a whole word. So we look at this, we would say A. Okay, that's the sound. A, and I made it easy the first round. They're all gonna be in order. A. Then we're gonna move on to E. 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 Then we're on I. I. And then remember, this is the exception. IGH says I. And then we have O. 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 And finally our U, which sounds kind of different. U or oo. Ooh. Ooh. Long U. All right, so I'm gonna mix them up. That time I kind of, like I said, I made it easy for you. I started with the A's, then I went to the E's and so forth. This time I'm gonna mix it up just a little bit. I'm kind of shuffling my cards here. So when you make flashcards, you don't have to just use sight words, or you don't have to use the whole word. You can also just use the sounds. So you can do this with digraphs, like have SH on a flashcard, or you can do it with blends, have like a SL or an SK on a flashcard, and that starts helping your brain to chunk it. Because remember at the beginning we did those Elkonian boxes where you chunk it, okay? All right, so this time they're mixed up. So I'm gonna put the card up and I want you to tell me the sound, okay? Ooh, good job. I'll give you a little bit of time. O. A. A, those were together. Remember our saying, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. E. O. E. That one's easy because it's the same vowel. O. U. I. Oo. E. I. A, the last one. Good job. Okay, so just another way to do flashcards, just having the sound, the vowel team on the flashcard instead of the whole word, okay? All right, now I'm gonna look at a couple picture cards we have, and we're gonna do some rhyming words with those, okay? So now we'll put them into words. So here we have a picture of a lake. So you're gonna look at the first letter and see how it changes. So let's read all of them together, okay? We're just changing the first letter, so they should all rhyme. Lake, bake, make, take, cake. Awesome. So there's that A sound. Here we have an E sound. We have a tree. Let's make sure the words are rhyming. Tree, C, B, free. And you can kind of see how my lips get ready to read, right? You should be doing that too. When you see those letters, your lips are getting ready to read. Here we have a long I, kite, kite, bite, write, sight. Awesome. Here we have our long O, two vowels are going to say O. So B, O, T, boat. We only have a couple here. Boat, coat, goat. Awesome. Hope you're reading these with me. All right, and this one I have a picture, but it's our ooh sound, our long U. When two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So our first word up here is cue. Okay, that's like when someone tells you to get started, that's your cue. All right, here we have blue, glue, do, and true. Good job. All right. So just a few examples of the long vowel teams that work together in words. The next thing we're going to do is a little activity. I do this with my kids a lot. I do it with my flight school kids, and I also do it with my own children. It's a game. It's kind of like the word, what word am I thinking? Guess the word, okay? So I'm gonna be thinking of a word. I'll give you a clue or two, and then you'll go ahead and see if you can guess which word I'm thinking of. In flight school, and sometimes in my own home, I kind of cut the cards out and I make them like flashcards like this. That way they're double duty, okay? So I have a couple there. But for our own purposes right now, I just put them all on a whiteboard, okay? So all of these have some of those long vowel teams that we talked about, okay? So I'm going to give you some clues. I wrote them down so I'd remember, okay? And this is a fun game. I will give you all the clues today, but sometimes with my kids, I end up having them give me the clues. So they'll read the word first, think of a clue, and see if I can guess it. So it's kind of a fun game. You could do that with mom or dad or brother and sister. And these are words that have vowel teams in them, okay? So you can see them. We're not going to read them all yet, okay? But I'm going to tell you the clue, and then you'll see if you can get the word, okay? All right, our first clue is that this word has 6 letters. And that's my only clue, because you should be able to get it. Sometimes I'll give you multiple clues. My first clue is this word has 6 letters. So then what I would do if I'm not sure, right, I'd look at the first one, okay? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could that be it? No, I definitely know that one's not it. That one's only got 3. So you should have figured out our word is this one down here, right? That has 6 letters. Now let me sound it out. Cruise. Oh, that's a cruise. Like when you go on a big ship, you take a cruise. So after we know that that word has been found, we cross it off. Or if I'm doing the flashcards, I'll actually flip it over. So I know that's not a choice anymore. All right? Okay, let me give you the next clue. Your next clue is that it's a color. So looking at the words, which word is a color? And we can give lots of different clues. This one I did the number of letters. This one I'm kind of telling you a little bit about that. So as you see in my clues, there's lots of different ways to do this. All right, which one's the color word, everybody? Green, that's right. Here's our color word. Green. So I got that one. I got that clue. All right, let's move on to our next. This one has a digraph at the end of the word. This one has a digraph at the end of the word. So remember what a digraph is? That's your first clue, right? Okay, you gotta know what a digraph is. Remember, it's TH, SH, CH, or WH. It's a word, 2 letters that make a new sound, okay? So then you see which one has it at the end. There's only one. Which one could it be? Hope you're guessing. Oh, it's this one, you're right. So now if we're gonna sound this out, P-E-Ch. Peach, okay, that delicious fruit that gets nice and ripe in the summertime. A peach. All right, so that was the next word. Okay, next clue. This is something that you eat, and it has a long I, so it's going to say I. So I'm giving you 2 clues for this one. Something that you eat, and it has a long I. Okay, well, do you eat a chain? I hope not. Or a toe. Ooh, gross. All right, I hope you got it. The word is pie, right? Here's our 2 vowels. The first one does the talking, so P-I, pie. Okay. There's all sorts of different pies you can eat too, huh? Apple and pumpkin and cherry. All right, our next clue. This one has 5 letters. Okay, so then first thought is, oh, I see a word here with 5, and I see a word here with 5. So I have to give you another clue for you to get this one, right? So there's 5 letters, and it's the opposite of sink. Okay, so sink is like when it goes down to the bottom of the water. So what's the opposite of that? Okay, so this was one of them. Chain, is that the opposite of sink? No. So everybody, what is it? Float. That's right, float. So float. Float. The opposite of sink, if you go to the bottom, would be float. You stay on top. All right, a couple more. All right, our next one. This word starts like train. So this one I'm thinking about what train starts with. So which word would start with like train? Okay. This one starts like ch. It's close, but not quite. Then we have t. No. So it must be this one. Good job. And then this sound is our long A. So A tray. Like for lunch, right? You might have a tray for your lunch where you carry it on there. Okay, we only got 2 more words left. All right, this one is a body part. It's on your body somewhere. Which one is it? Do we have a chain anywhere on our body? I don't think so. So it must be this one. T-O, toe. Toe. We got 10 of those, right? All right, toe. And then the last one, pretty easy, right? Because it's the only word left. So sometimes I ask my kids to give me a sentence for it. Sometimes I ask them to give me a clue for it. But I'll give you guys one today. This one has a digraph at the beginning of the word. And it's got to be chain, right? So here's your digraph. So there was a digraph here and here. So one clue was it was at the end, another clue at the beginning. Okay. So this one is chain, chain. Okay, chain. Like maybe you wear a chain around your neck, or your keys are on a chain. All right, so that's another fun game. Guess my word. I've done it with sight words, with vowel teams. Obviously, you can do it with any group of words you have. And it's fun to give clues and just see if the other person can guess your word. So maybe with your spelling list this week that your teacher gave you, or the sight words you're working on, you could write them down on a whiteboard like we did. You can make the flashcards like we did, and play that game with your mom or dad. All right, the last thing I have for you is a little activity you get to do at home, okay? And this one, now, like I said, yesterday was really rainy, but it's supposed to get pretty warm this weekend, so maybe you can play it this weekend. And it includes water balloons. So maybe you have some water balloons laying around at home. Maybe you're gonna go to Target, make a Target run and get some water balloons. But what you're doing is you're going to have targets, speaking of Target, kind of like this. I have this file folder. It kind of made me think of the game because they kind of look like targets, right? And these are all our long vowels. So you fill up the water balloon, okay? Mom or dad or sister can say a word, okay, like boat, and then you think boat. That has a long O. So you take your water balloon and you throw it at that O as hard as you can and try to break it, right? So kind of like target practice, like our Nerf gun we did the other day, but this time you get to be outside. Okay, maybe you'll cool off a little bit with the water balloons. And of course, you might not have a file folder like this, but you can just get a piece of paper and do all the letters, okay, on a piece of paper. You can do all the vowels, okay, and then mom and dad will say a word, okay, or maybe they can even show you a word on your flashcard, and then you decide, is it a long A, long E, long I, long O, or long U. So those are the vowel teams. While you're reading too, look in your books for them. I hope you can find them. And I hope you guys have a great week of reading and school, and I will see you all next week, okay? Bye, guys.